Hello, everyone, and welcome to the fifth edition of our Buffalo Bills podcast. Today, we will be discussing the Jets versus Bills game, upcoming on Sunday. Now, I'd like to welcome my friend Adrian.
What's up, everyone? How
And
you doing?
we also would like to welcome our friend Brandon.
What's up, guys?
Okay, so Adrian, what is the key for the Bills to win this Sunday against the New York Jets?
Okay, so yeah, obviously, huge game coming up against the Jets, like divisional game, playoff stakes on the line, and also bragging rights, but whatever. In terms of the game itself, like honestly, I'm not scared of Zach Wilson, if I'm being honest with you. So
Yeah, the kids call
yeah,
him Sack Wilson.
yeah, of course they do. And yeah, the receivers are decent. Like Garrett Wilson's good. They have some good weapons on offense, but I feel like it's going to be up to us to score points, really. Because I'm not really like too worried about the defense shutting them down. Because even while injured, our defense still puts together solid performances every single week. And I think that it's up to Josh. Can he show up today? He struggles against the Jets usually, but I don't know. I think Josh needs to show up
Yeah,
today. And
I
yeah,
agree. For me, it's to get the run game going, because especially since their defense is very good. So if you could get the run game going, that will help open up a window for Allen to throw, and
yeah.
hopefully they could score some points. Okay, Brandon, what do you think the Jets need to do in order to beat the Bills?
Yeah, so honestly, I feel like Nathaniel Hackett he needs to give Zach some more creative liberty with his plays. So far we saw last game with the Raiders, he, Brees Hall only averaged 2.2 yards per carry. Dalvin Cook I think had like five. He was doing good, but he only had like three carries, so that's irrelevant. But Nathaniel Hackett, I mean, he keeps running same conservative plays over and over again. And I think that's the reason why we're only getting these flashes of Zach Wilson. I feel like in order for us to win, obviously our offense just needs to keep balling out like they have been. I feel like that's gonna happen. Allen hopefully they can get like a few interceptions off him. I think that's kind of a lock, especially the way he's been playing. They just fired their OC. It's definitely going to be a pretty low scoring game. But as long as Zach, I mean, as all he needs to do really is just make some good plays, and as long as Hackett, you know, tells him to make those plays, gives him the opportunity to, and doesn't just run it up the middle with our shitty O line, I feel like we've got a good chance.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
agree. I think it's also going to be a low scoring game. Key for me for the Jets, I think Brees Hall is going to be interesting because you saw in week one, Brees Hall had a couple big runs against the Bills, which killed them. I also think I'm interested to see what happens with Randall Cobb and Alan Lazard after the bad plays they had on last Sunday, I think against the Raiders. Adrian, what do you think? How do you think we could stop Brees Hall?
Um, I think that our defensive line needs to show up big. I mean, obviously, like to stop the run, you need to I think that overall, I don't think that it's going to be a matter of like game plan and what we do against Brees Hall. I think it's just going to be whether or not our players on the D line can show up, which I have confidence that they will, but like at the same time, I also can definitely see Brees Hall gashing us like he has like even last season. I'm pretty sure he cooked us, but yeah, I think that like in order to stop Brees Hall, I think our just D line needs to ball out. But honestly, I'm not too worried because Brees Hall, like while he is good, I think we have a really like good defense. I think that can a good D line with Daquan Jones, Von Miller, who hasn't been showing up, but he'll show up eventually. But, yeah, overall, we have enough talent on defense to stop Brees Hall. I think.
Would you say if we lose to the Jets that the season is officially over?
Yes, actually, because First off, losing to the Jets. I'm not losing to the Jets. We're not losing to the Jets.
We already
Like,
lost once. We better win this
we
time.
we can't
You
lose
sure
to
about that,
the
bro?
Jets. Yeah, we're not losing to the Jets, bro. Like I'm
Your
just gonna
season
say
is
right here.
already over. Don't you only have like a 34% chance of making the playoffs as it is?
That's
And
true.
what's your
Yeah,
chance? 2%?
yeah.
Even
What is
I think
what is
I think we're at about like 12 right now. But with a win, I think ours increased to about 40.
With a
yeah, but
win, you're
like
5-5. With
yeah,
a loss, you're 4-6, and your season's over.
Not
But I
gonna
do
lie.
agree.
I feel like
We're
you
five and
also have
six.
to approach this. You also have to approach this game from an NFL script.
okay.
Bro, I was
Perspective.
telling you the NFL was scripted last year with the
So of
Chiefs.
course it's scripted. So we got
Yeah.
Rodgers already telling us, he's gonna be back. I think by Thanksgiving. Obviously, that Thanksgiving is capped, but what I don't think is capped is that he'll be back for the rest of the season. However, he's going to be back he's only going to come back this season if we make a play if we're in a playoff spot. Now, obviously, we need this. The Jets need this game to be in a playoff spot, so it's pretty much in the script for us to win this game. Win the next game against the next game.
Dolphins.
Dolphins, yeah. Win the next game against the Dolphins, we could Sauce can shut down Tyreek. He's already done it once. And it's pretty much in the scripts, make a playoff run. Big Aaron comes back. And the Jets are your 2023 Super Bowl winners.
It's funny how you bring up script. It's funny how you bring up script because the script in every season, like for 10 years, has been Jets miss the playoffs. That's the script.
Exactly.
If you want to say,
so the script is get Aaron Rodgers back, and now the script changes. We're gonna make the playoffs. We're gonna win the playoffs. We're gonna be Super Bowl champions for the first time in like 60 years.
Okay. Yeah, first time in 60. Yeah, I know the Bills have never won a Super Bowl, but that's true. But I'm not scared of Rodgers. Actually, is that just me? Like, I'm not scared. Isn't he like 37? Like, even if Rodgers comes back,
I think the key is if his Achilles is fully.
That's true.
Like if his Achilles is fully.
Hall of Famer.
Yeah, it's true.
Honestly, at this point, like, I feel like you could still bring freaking Tom Brady back and he'd be one of the best few quarterbacks in the league. Like for a quarterback like that high caliber, like they're gonna be good for a while.
Well, he'll be better than Zach Wilson, that's for sure. Like,
yeah,
I mean we know that.
It's only bad because of our O line and our play calling.
Okay, blame injuries.
Did you see the Bengals Ravens game last night?
Yeah, I saw. Yeah,
bro, Lamar had like 30 seconds in the pocket every single play. If Zach had that, he'd be He'd be a top 10 quarterback.
Okay, yeah, but like
the glazing is insane.
Like, that's true. Like,
and
he'll never
let him throw the ball instead of either handing it off to Brees or doing these shitty screen passes on 3rd and 12. Then maybe he'd actually be a good quarterback. But he's just not getting the chance.
Okay, yeah, that's true.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, but he's not getting the chance. But at the same time, he also doesn't really know how to throw a football, if you know what I'm saying.
Have you seen these highlights? These are some home level. These like the no-look one from last Sunday. He looked pretty much like Mahomes.
Okay.
Like that's what I'm saying. We keep seeing these flashes. But we're only going to keep seeing flashes as long as Hackett is giving Zach this shitty play call.
Would you fire Hackett then? Would you like mid-season right now?
Mid-season, if we lose this game
and like don't score points, like
if we win this game, I would fire him. Because if we win this game, we're still in contention. If we lose this game, just tank the rest of the season, get another weapon, get another wide receiver on offense, let Rodgers come back next year, and we'll make the playoffs then. But if we win this game, then Hackett needs to go.
Okay.
One thing to keep in mind is that Joe Burrow is out for the season, obviously, with the wrist injury, and Deshaun Watson is out for the season with a torn ACL, I believe. So that takes essentially the Bengals and the Browns out of potentially the race to make the playoffs, or it makes it much harder for them. Definitely the Bengals. The Browns are 6-3, so we'll see. So the winner of this game, because of those two injuries, has a much higher chance of making the playoffs just because of that. Um, if the Jets win the game, yeah, I agree. Their season will remain alive. They'll be 5-5, and they'll have a chance. If the Bills win this game, again, their season remains alive, and we'll see what they do next week against. I believe it's either the Chiefs or the Eagles they play.
Yeah.
And but if the Bills lose, I think their season's over. Okay,
Yeah.
so Adrian, what do you think the new offensive coordinator we have could what type of plays could he start calling? Brady.
So as we know, we fired Dorsey, and hired I mean we didn't hire from within, we promoted Joe Brady to be our OC, and I think that he'll have like an interesting dynamic on the offense because he like a few years ago, when he was the OC at Carolina, I think it was, he was like considered one of the best young minds in football because like he was like the next Sean McVay, but like it never worked out. But he has experience, he has talent. His offense is creative, it's dynamic. I think that overall, I think his spin on the offense, it can add like an interesting flair that we've been lacking. Maybe like our running plays can start being interesting and not just give it up the middle to Cook and hope that he can run between the tackles, which that's not his style
It
of run.
hasn't worked.
No, exactly. And maybe we'll start incorporating Gabe Davis more, like with Dayball when Gabe Davis was cooking, like he was cooking under Dayball. And I think overall, Joe Brady, he definitely is an upgrade over Ken Dorsey for now. And I think they'll be able to exploit the Jets' average secondary, I think. Yeah.
Yes, I agree. One thing I'm gonna look for is what they do with James Cook because last week at the Broncos, he obviously started the game with the turnover. Then he started going on some good runs and successfully gaining some yardage. So I'm curious to see how Joe Brady uses James Cook, and what type of plays he calls. I'm also interested to see, as you said, with Gabe Davis and even Kincaid, what type of plays, how involved they are with the offense. Okay. So Brandon, what do you think? What type of play do you think Zach Wilson could do to be most efficient? Do you think he would be better off throwing the ball, as you said before? Or, would you like to see a mixture?
I would definitely like to see a mixture. The Bills have an awful running defense, one of the worst in
Yes.
the league. They're
Okay.
they're packed. I mean, they average like
No, he's
4.6.
right, bro. He's right. They average
They
like
average
Yeah,
four
yeah,
point
we're not.
yards a carry. That is horrendous.
Yeah, it's terrible.
That's
But
like
okay,
that's like
go
a
on.
whole 1.5 yard above the average.
yeah.
Yeah. All right, go on, go on.
So I feel like a mixture of plays would be good. Like I said before, the Jets have a terrible offensive line. We can't keep running it up the middle. Hackett hopefully is going to get a bit more creative with Brees, and hopefully he can also give
Dalvin Cook.
hopefully he can also give Dalvin Cook some more carries as well. I mean, he was great against the Raiders, averaging like what I think it was almost 6 yards a carry. But like I said, we can't only rely on the run game. I mean, we're not the New York Giants. So I feel like just let give Zach some opportunities to throw it deep. Don't only give him screen passes or 5 yard, 10 yard gains. Let treat it like it's the last 30 seconds in a game where we're down by 2 points. And we need those and we just need some quick yards. He's shown he can be good in those scenarios, and obviously those were high pressure scenarios. Could be different, but trust Garrett Wilson, trust Xavier Gibson. He's looked like a great receiver so far. Trust Lazard. I feel like that's our key to winning the game.
Yes. Now, would you say when you look at Zach Wilson, would you say you've seen good development and improvement since the beginning of year and since like last year? And Adrian, when he's done answering that question, how would you say Josh Allen has fared since 2020 or 2021? We were talking about this on previous podcasts. Why do you think he's been considerably worse since then?
Well, sure, definitely. Zach Wilson has gotten way better. Like for 99% of quarterbacks in the league that start their first year out of being drafted, they're never, for the most part, they're not good. We've seen it with Zach Wilson. We've seen it with Marcus Mariota. It just starts their development, and I feel like that's what we saw with Zach Wilson at the start of his career. Now heading into 2023, you can see that Aaron Rodgers has had a great effect on him, both with the way he plays the game and his mental state. Last year he was asked the question, the defense only let up, I believe it was like, I have no idea what the defense let up in that specific game, but it was an extremely low amount of points. Yeah, the Jets didn't have like a single touchdown. I think they only had like 1 or 2 field goals. And he was asked if they let down the Jets, if the offense let down the Jets. And he said, no, I don't think so. However, going into this year, he's taking a lot more accountability. He's admitted that the offense isn't where it should be right now, and that he is definitely a factor in that. I feel like that's definitely a good thing going forward. He's definitely a lot more disciplined, a lot more humble, as he should be. And I just feel like he's only going to get better from here. Hopefully, Rodgers can continue to work with him once he's actually back practicing. I'm excited to see what the cap with him is once Rodgers is retired. Hopefully, he can continue being a franchise QB if he continues along this development path. But definitely with the flashes we've seen from him, as long as he can continue to work to get better, and Hackett can work with him on developing and getting these flashes to be more frequent, I feel like he definitely has great potential.
Yeah, I agree. Adrian?
Okay, so in terms of Josh Allen, as we know, his best year was in his career was 2020 under Dayball during COVID when there were no fans in the stands, and yeah, that was his best year. And since then, he had a not great year, but a great end to the year in 2021, which made everyone think he was elite. And then 2022, he had great start to the season, but then they kind of threw a lot of picks. He got injured, and then that happened. And then this season, he's been just not great overall. I think that the reason for a lot of this could be that he doesn't have his offensive coordinator anymore, which is Dayball. Dayball was the one who not only like made his game like sharp and minimized his mistakes on the field, he also like kept his head on right. Whereas Sean McDermott and Ken Dorsey, they seem to like let things slide with him. Whenever Josh
Yeah,
threw a
Daboll's
pick,
much tougher.
exactly. I think that his overall coaching style and everything that he did made it so that Allen threw less picks, he made less mistakes, he was a more efficient quarterback. And I think that Josh Allen, the reason why he hasn't been as good in these recent years, in these recent games, I guess you want to call it, his play calling hasn't been that great, and he has to have his really only like major receiving threat is Diggs, and I think overall, like I'm not saying he's a bum right now, but he's not an elite quarterback right now, as we all want him to be. But
Yeah, he has to play
time will
better.
tell. If definitely. But I think he will play better eventually. I'm definitely not like Josh Allen out or anything, but like yeah, he needs to start playing better.
Do you guys? I have an idea. Do you guys want to make some predictions based off the betting line? So like the over unders.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So to
Yep.
start, take the game over under 40 points.
Okay,
Under.
I'll take.
They're under
Yeah,
for
under,
sure.
under.
I'm surprised the line that set that high. All right, let's go to the passing props. Josh Allen is at over under 237.5 passing yards.
Under.
I'm gonna say, yeah, probably under.
He doesn't get a lot of yards against the Jets. Like he always
No,
has like
Sauce
quiet
Gardner's
games.
gonna be all over
no one
Diggs,
gets a
bro.
lot of yards against the Jets.
Bro,
Yeah, but
Sauce is gonna be
especially
all
Allen.
over Diggs.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
true. That's true.
Diggs is gonna get
Yeah.
double teamed the entire game. Or
Yeah.
actually, no, he doesn't even need to get double teamed. Sauce is just that guy.
Yeah.
Okay, but Diggs will cook him.
But
like,
seriously, but plus Allen has like very few weapons. He has Kincaid, and he has Diggs.
Gabe
Like,
Davis, but Gabe Davis isn't good.
Gabe Davis is not a good weapon. Like that's
Gabe
the
Davis
problem.
is not a weapon.
Yeah.
All right. Zach Wilson's over under is set at 206.5 passing yards.
Under.
I'm
Like
gonna be
120.
taking the over.
Of course, you're taking the over.
No, I changed my mind. No, they're definitely gonna run it. They're gonna run it. So I'm taking
When was the last time Zach has covered the over under for passing yards?
Honestly, I don't know. I've never bet the over under on Zach. I've never bet the over on Zach. I don't think that's very smart.
Exactly.
All right, so moving on to receiving yards. Garrett Wilson is set at over under 68.5.
Over.
Over.
Yeah, over. If they throw to him, if they throw the ball, it'll be to him.
Yeah.
But will they throw the ball that much with Hackett?
No, I think Hall is gonna have a lot of carries, but they're gonna throw the ball to Wilson. I think they're gonna throw the ball to Wilson like quite a few times.
Sure.
Yeah.
Stephon Diggs over under 74.5.
I gotta go the under, especially with the turnovers Josh Allen's throwing.
What do you mean? I'm taking the over. I'm gonna take the over. Why? Because he's really the only guy we can throw to, and as we know, we can't really run the ball, especially against the Jets, who I'm pretty sure their run defense is pretty good. Like, and so is their pass defense. But I think that Diggs will be able to I think he'll have like a 90-yard game, maybe. I think I feel like he'll go off a little bit. Not too much, though.
So next, let's do the rushing props for the two RB1s. And after that, let's give a couple hot takes for the game.
All right.
Yeah.
So for the rushing yards, Breece Hall over under 54.5.
Over.
That's an easy over.
He's gonna get like 100, 120.
And James Cook over under 53.5.
I think he's gonna go. I gotta go under.
I think over. I think that
James Cook?
I think that they're gonna run the ball a lot more than they're gonna throw it.
No, I agree. They're gonna run the ball, but James Cook can't run.
But then again, we have such a good defensive line that and James Cook is shit.
Exactly. So he's not good.
By the way, one wide receiver to keep an eye on is, for me, Adrian, it would be Kincaid. I think, if anything, Kincaid might have a big game.
I think so too. Yeah.
I think
Kincaid.
So my hot take for the game, I think Khalil Shakur, I think he's gonna go over 50 yards.
You feel like it?
Yeah.
All right. Yeah.
I feel like Allen's gonna have to stay away from Diggs. Either Sauce is gonna be all over him. Davis is gonna also be covered by DJ Reed.
Yeah.
Which is gonna leave Shakir. I think he's gonna get minimum 3 targets, minimum 5 targets and at least 3 receptions.
For me, my hot take for the game, I think Allen Lazard is gonna have a big game. I think the Bills defense is gonna be very focused on Breece Hall and Garrett Wilson, and it's gonna give Allen Lazard a couple opportunities to have some big catches.
All right. Yeah. For me, okay, guys, I don't know why y'all are glazing the opposing wide receivers. Why are we glazing the other teams?
Oh, Kincaid then. Okay, Kincaid is gonna have a big game.
Jacob. No. I'm just saying what I'm gonna do is my hot take is that I think we're gonna I guess it's a hot take that it's not really a hot take that we're gonna win this game, and pretty convincingly. I don't think that
the Jets
hold up.
Yeah,
okay.
You are minus 335 to win this game. That is not a hot take. A $10 bet only wins $2.99.
I said that's not a hot take.
Hot take to say that they're gonna win.
I said
We
you would
should
think
win.
it's a hot take. You would think it's a hot take, but like, in your opinion, because the Jets have had our number for the past few years, but in MetLife Stadium, in Highmark, or in Buffalo, they never perform. Even when we're shit, the Jets just never. They don't put up points. They combined in their last two games here, they put up like 19 points in their last two games at Buffalo.
Yeah.
I'm not really scared of the Jets' offense.
I'm
like,
scared
at
of their
all.
defense. Their
I'm scared of their
defense.
defense for
Yeah.
sure. That's why I think it's going to be low
How
scoring.
many interceptions do you think that Allen's gonna get?
One.
One. Only one.
He's not
He had
getting two
last
today.
time.
He can't
I
get
think
two.
he's getting two. I think he's getting two is a lock. I think he has a good chance to get three again.
This isn't
No.
Dorsey terrorist ball. This is Joe Brady sexy
Does
offense.
the
Money
offense
ball.
coordinate? No, but Josh Allen, he's always it's not your offensive coordinator's fault that he's throwing interceptions. It's his own.
Okay, that's true, but at the same time, he needs a better coordinator to keep him in check, not an old grumpy grandpa that doesn't say anything and that only gets mad at he's just depressed. He doesn't really like. I think that Allen, now that he has Brady and like his play calling is going to be better, he doesn't have to force balls into Diggs every single game, and I think that it'll free up his play a little bit. He's going to cook, I think.
Yeah, that's a
Sure
good
about
point.
that one?
Okay,
So
everybody.
you're taking the over on his passing yards then?
Who, Allen?
Yeah.
No, I said he's not going to throw picks.
I mean, if he's not going to throw picks, then he's not going to have any turnovers, and then he'll easily hit the over 200. So,
Well, they could go 3 and out every time.
They can punt, which is what we do a lot also.
Yeah.
because
Okay. All right. To wrap things up, why don't we predict the scores for this game? I'll start with Brandon.
Score for this game, I will go 17. Actually, I will go 17-14 Jets.
Okay,
Adrian.
As I said, I think we're gonna win this game, but not by like a lot, not by a big score, but I think we'll handle the game. I think I'll go 24-9 Buffalo.
Okay, I'm gonna go 14-10 Buffalo wins. Okay, thank you everybody for listening to the the 5th edition of our Buffalo Bills podcast.
Okay.
Thank you.